No,
So-
no.
Oh.
PPO, Donald, price per ounce. PPO.
Well, like I look at
George,
I look at whatever
we're gonna
the
go start a new podcast.
How can you get the most? I legitimately do care about all this stuff.
We're rolling, baby.
Nobody cares. Are you ready?
Yeah,
I gotta
we're
get
rolling.
my bite in. 8 out of 10. Tell me when you're filming.
We're filming.
Welcome to this with you, America's most food reviewingest TCG podcast. I am, of course, joined by my best friend, the man who carries his podcast and all of Disney Gokana on his back, Donald.
It's a lot of statements.
And they're all true, Donald. They're all true. And I am, of course, joined by the man, the sweatiest man of the podcast, the buffest man of the podcast. I don't know what else to say. Josh!
That's the first true thing George has ever said on the podcast.
I am the sweatiest. George, suck it.
Why do you got rid of your
Why?
laptop?
Oh, dude, it's so good. We'll talk later.
Okay. And I am, of course, joined by the man who ripped me off on the Chocobo. He ripped me off
That's
right
not-
away.
I got you one. I got
You
you
ripped me
one
off.
at like
You fleeced me.
a chunk below market price.
But that was before. Now it's below market price.
No, it's not.
That was not. I don't know.
I think I
Louis
still
George.
saved you like $400.
All right, never mind. I apologize.
And we're joined by George, who finally has somebody to eat dinner with. Show us who you're eating with, buddy. Who you eating with? Give us the tour of your Panera bread. Wow. Oh,
Wait, you're
there's
doing this
no-
podcast from a Panera bread?
Oh, nobody there. I thought you said it was busy. That was supposed
Oh,
to be.
That's
Hi.
as busy as Panera bread gets.
No,
There's also another whole room full of people. This room is this building is packed. I
They
hope
dropped
they're
the
about to
energy
learn
drink.
some knowledge.
They dropped the energy drink, Louis. They're not popular anymore.
George
Why
is on a
Panera so good?
40 hours of driving, everybody. 40 hours of driving.
I have 4.5 hours left, and I'm doing this podcast instead of finishing it up.
Wow.
That's actually true.
You've done the podcast from the car before, I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
All
he
right,
has.
I
We
can-
did
all right, let's
that.
do it. But it was not well received, according to Louis.
No, people like looking at you.
It wasn't
don't
well
blame them.
received by me or Louis either.
I see me. I would also love to look at me.
Ugh.
Well, everybody, today we're going to talk about the serialized
Donald.
sale.
Nobody cares. Donald, how do you feel about looking at me?
No comment.
We're going to talk about the serialized Chocobo. We're going to
My
talk
best friend.
about the
My best friend.
the Final Fantasy boxes. That's still the big topic. Nobody cares about anything that's not Final Fantasy.
No, because nothing else matters. It's like that Metallica song.
We're going to talk about Pokemon and
Nobody
really,
cares.
Really, not just Pokemon, but talk about card shows. I'm going to Collecticon
Oh, God.
in Cleveland, so we'll talk about that a little bit. Donald,
Cleveland!
do we have a Lorcana?
Is there anything more depressing than a Collecticon in Cleveland, Ohio? Like,
I
who's
don't know.
going to be
I've never
there?
been there.
I don't know, being in Cleveland, Ohio without Collecticon.
And we're going to talk about sorcery. They have the new set is announced by the end of this year, releasing later this year. And we're going to talk about Gothic, the spoilers, and all the things that they are talking about with the set. So you missed it,
Louis,
George.
can you promise us that this podcast will get a spoiler?
This podcast?
No.
Yeah. If my channel gets a spoiler and the podcast doesn't get a spoiler, we will do the spoiler on Midazubi with you.
I can't imagine a single world where the podcast would get a spoiler.
Why not?
Because have you seen us? We're not.
We have
more
done
hungry.
more
I have
sorcery content.
fought tooth and nail with all three of you buttholes
Oh my
about
God.
this game. Yeah. It's still in the first 5 minutes of the podcast. So I don't think I can say the real word or we get lack of viewership.
You could have gone with bunghole. Bunghole.
Bungholes, buttholes.
Beavis and Butthead throwback. Go bunghole.
All right. Let's talk about the serialized sale. George, why didn't you buy them? Why didn't you buy one?
No, here's my problem. So I think there's two factors in play here with the serialized. The first one is that like the hype will be gone in a year, right? This will be a less hype set in 12 months than it is today. So that tends to mean that prices should go down.
So Importantly, the serialized of 300 Soul Rings are higher priced now than they were 2 years ago in Lord of the Rings.
Is that true?
Yes.
By a lot or a little?
A significant amount.
Weren't they like 1,500 close to release?
One sold for 6,800 this week.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm just wrong. I think the big variable is honestly how many get opened.
Yeah.
Like you can tell me a story where there's less than 30 of these opened.
My gut would be half.
Which is 30 is pretty close to half.
Yeah.
38. Like
half get opened or
know.
half get opened and known about?
I think half of these get sold.
Okay. Get sold. Half of them.
I don't know. I don't know.
You think there's 40 sales of it? That seems high to me.
I don't know anybody who pulls one of these and doesn't sell it.
I think it's probably true.
Like I just don't know who that person, like, unless a big streamer pulls one on their.
I mean, eventually, you could tell me a world where somebody pulls it and they, you're not necessarily fiending for the money right now, so you just grade it and keep it, right? And every Magic card gets sold eventually, right? But for the foreseeable future, you could tell me someone who pulls it and is like, I'm going to keep it.
Not me. Bury me with my chocobos.
I'm burying you with a lot of other indie TCG garbage, my friend.
I want nothing but Cryptic, not Legions. What's the one that Shuckster did? The Ponzi scheme guy, not Mike, the other one.
MetaZoo?
No, I said not Mike.
I'm almost
the
out.
Ponzi scheme.
Assad. What was his game?
Oh, Genesis.
I'm almost out of random MetaZoo packs that you have used to ship me stuff. So I'll bury you with what I have left. I use them for packing for people's orders.
That's not you.
Huh.
Okay, what's your second point, George?
No, that's a good point. I think it's going to be less hot in a year, but I think it's going to be like, I don't think there's going to be that many opened. I think it's going to be a very big sealed collection. I think like, and the higher the box price goes, the more likely people are to leave their boxes sealed.
I agree with that. I think the next 2 weeks there's more sales of these cards than the next like 6 months after.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
So many of them are going to be opened, sale. But there's also more people looking for them right now, because once one person finds one, they're off the market, right? Like there's a couple people who I'm sure are trying to get 3 or 4 of them. I was talking to somebody. So somebody, I think I told you guys last week, somebody opened one. Did we talk about this on the podcast last week? Mm-hmm. So I was talking to him today. And we were doing the math, and if 50% of them get opened, then you need 4 of these to own 10% of the market. So I think that's a number for like the whale, right? Like the person who $25,000 is nothing. I think owning 4 of them is something that somebody would want.
I don't know. Like to me, I think if a whale's going to buy these, it's going to be based off of like how cheap can they buy them. Like they'll buy 10 at the right price. They'll buy 3 at the right price. I think it's going to be much more like what's going to be their entry point. It'll be seen more as like a real genuine investment than anything else. And I do think that like there's those people out there, especially with the uncertainty in the market right now. I think there is a thought that like, is this better than just putting your money somewhere else?
Yeah.
Do you think there's something to the idea that there's so many Magic sets coming out so quickly that even your whales are buying maybe not 4 of these, but 1 to 2 because they're keeping money open for the next thing? And I know that this might be a weird example. Final Fantasy is the big flash in the pan.
I mean, like
there's an expensive card in almost every set now.
No,
like significantly expensive. There's several $100 cards in every single release.
Yeah, but like the difference between several hundred and 25 to 40,000 is pretty significant. I mean, like it also it takes very little effort to move one card. You just got to find a buyer. It takes a lot of effort to sell $40,000 of $500 cards. As somebody who's done it, I can vouch for this.
Well, I see something like a $40,000 serialized modern card, and now we're talking like alpha, beta, Lotus prices. Right. You know what I mean? Like we're talking like, I don't know why a Magic the Gathering person would rather have one of these
Oh, I
than
do.
a Lotus, but I do know that there's a whole nother audience here that doesn't exist with the Lotus, with like a a super video game guy who also likes Magic. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
think people also like new cards. People like this has been a big thing in like sports. People like modern cards.
yeah,
It also
Like, they look better. They look cooler.
It also kind of encapsulates your time in Magic the Gathering. You have to be around Magic for a long time to get drawn into the care about vintage and your Alpha Black Lotus. It's kind of got to be a part of your history. This is a quick way, again, for a whale, obviously not for normal people, but to like, hey, this is my time in Magic. This is the thing. This was the chase. This will, this was what I wanted.
yeah. I could imagine somebody like having one of these and a serialized Lord of the Rings ring. I don't know what the other thing is at this point, though.
I think you probably have a couple of the serial. I think the doctor.
Well, there's worse serialized cards.
No, the doctors. I think that's more Magic fans. But the doctors are going to be in there. They won't be to the level of these, obviously, but they'll be in there.
Nobody likes the doctors.
I don't think that's true.
Doctor Who was such a god awful set.
That set did way better than any of us thought it was going to.
Awful.
I don't think you're.
I don't even remember it. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't remember what
exactly.
or how it's doing.
Exactly.
I'll be honest. The only time I remember it exists is on this podcast. But I will say that's also true for every Magic set that's not Lord of the Rings or Final Fantasy.
So I was doing some math. So we did it last week. We did the
Here we go.
we did the $2 million sale, right?
Mhm.
And divided that by 77, and I think it was like 24,000. That's where we came up with 24,000.
I still think that's about right.
So then I did the math on 300 serialized rings, and the last sold was 6,800, which is the same number, just over 2 million. Divide that by the 77, and that gets you to 26,000. I still think 25,000 is
Right.
a fall point for this card.
I think that's. I mean,
That's
like to
my
me,
opinion.
I think it's. I still think it's gonna be between a $15,000 and $25,000 card.
Yeah.
I think a lot depends on like the economy, and like a lot of it depends like what Magic does with the special edition. Like, what if there's a 1 of 5 Chocobo?
So it's still not. That's still not announced.
Yeah, it's still not confirmed.
It's still just purely speculation on pretty much just this channel.
Well, that means it's gonna come true.
We'll probably get
I mean-
banned from Magic.
That'd be super bad for all of us.
Yeah.
I think it would be
Not
pretty
you,
good
Donald.
for the analytics.
I think at this point we would just go and do some other form of podcasts. And
No, we gotta double down. We gotta
I don't
double down
think
for a ban from every game.
If they ban this
One for you,
podcast from
Legions.
Magic, I don't think anything changes.
let's be very clear. They don't even know this podcast exists.
No, not
we
even a
have,
little.
we have talked about
Nobody-
Mark Rosewater's aunt. We've done everything we can.
No, don't. Not we. Not we.
Donald, how do you feel about Mark Rosewater's aunt?
I don't even know that she exists.
Neither do we.
Wow, that's like the worst
No,
thing you
we're
can say about
very
somebody.
aware that she exists.
That's the worst thing you can say about somebody. I know you exist, Mark Rosewater's aunt.
Donald, where do you think the Golden Chocobo will be at?
I still think 15 to 20,000 is reasonable. I think 25 now is probably more accurate, but I don't
Do you
think
it's a-
I don't
it's a
think
card that will
40.
appreciate over time.
I don't. I mean, it like you said, it depends on how many get opened. The thing is, the majority of collector boosters that are going to get opened were opened like this past weekend.
100%.
So
We've seen very few for sale. I think I've heard of.
So
5
you're
for
right.
sale,
So we
6.
we know of very few of them on the market, which means
Well,
there's a good chance that only another 10% of them maybe get opened.
I disagree with that. What I think is happening, we also demand for grading right away. You're gonna have a grading flood coming into next week.
Yeah, the guy here gets his back
He
tomorrow.
had a great video about it too.
He gets his
Are
back
you
tomorrow. If anybody
show the
wants
video?
to, I think he might have a buyer. But if anybody wants to make an offer, feel free to reach out to me, KitchenTableTCG@gmail.com.
15 grand.
Make an offer, and I can forward it on to him. I just want to hold the card and do a
What
video.
would it
By
cost,
this point, I might already have a video. By the time this goes out, I might already have a video with it. I'm avoiding saying it because I don't want Josh mad at me for pronouncing it wrong.
For announcing what?
The card.
Like chocobos.
Oh no, we all know it's a meme at this point.
No, it's not. I just don't know what to say. I don't.
We had the conversation before you hit record, and you pronounced it perfectly every time.
Incorrect. He pronounced it both correctly and incorrectly.
Yeah,
Unless you have sudden stage fright after 1,000+ videos and God knows how many shorts.
I'm not in any of my shorts.
Your hand.
What do you think it would cost to get that card, Louis?
To buy the card?
Yeah.
I think 30 grand probably gets it.
What would you rather have, that or a case of special edition Lord of the Ring boxes?
I would rather have the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. The amount of buyers for Lord of the Rings is infinitely higher. Infinitely higher. Plus the ability to
I think it's much easier to liquidate. I think it's much easier to sell.
Especially in 5 years. Like, I don't know.
But isn't this the same argument as having, $40,000 worth of $500 cards? The amount of buyers is significantly higher.
I think it is. I think like sealed is king.
Yeah,
sealed is king.
Sure.
Like a $500 box is just easier to sell than a $500 card.
So the only disagreement I have is space. This card takes up, and when you have a house and whatever. And then
I have two though, so it's fine.
I just don't know where you I don't know what the upside is of a $25,000 serious.
I mean,
it's called a 40,000. We have a confirmed sale on eBay.
Yeah.
That's called a $40,000 card. So if you're going to increase by 25%, this is now a $50,000 card. I don't think so. I
can't see it.
I don't see that over time.
I disagree with that. Like, I think this card could really appreciate.
So let's go down the list of other $50,000 Magic cards.
Okay.
Alpha, Beta, Lotuses.
Yep.
Probably some high-end graded Alpha Power 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have the oddities that are one-offs, basically.
The One Ring, essentially.
You probably have like $10,000 to $15,000 of the what are they called? The ones that they give to the
employees.
The employees. They're called Realms of the Relics.
Heroes of the Realm.
Heroes of the Relics. Yeah, thank you. You those are 10 to 15. I don't see this being a $50,000 card.
Well, hold on. Just real quick, if anyone knows, what's an old border Lotus from 30th anniversary?
Like $8 grand.
8
to 12, I think. Something like that. I might be way off. Comment section. Have at me, baby.
Yeah, let's say do your thing.
Have at me.
Donald
I ain't afraid of you.
Comment section. Donald.
I actually don't even know if my value on an Alpha Lotus is right. I want to say it's 60, but
will you defend him in the comment section this week?
Probably not. I don't read comments.
We just feel I feel like we're wildly ill-equipped to discuss this because except for George, I can't wrap my mind around not spending that amount of money on vintage Magic. I just can't wrap my mind. I see where you're coming from. I
would so much rather have this than a $50,000 Lotus.
Really?
100%.
Is it just because of the Final Fantasy ties? Is that?
I think it's a better looking card. I also think it's this is much more a theme that I enjoy.
Okay.
Like, this is my childhood. This is my Pokemon. Like, this is how I spent my time, was playing Final Fantasy VII. Like, this is this is how I got yelled at by my dad because I would skip school to play Final Fantasy.
I was way off.
How much is it?
Oh, sorry, that's an artist proof. Never mind.
You're doing great.
An artist proof one sold for $3,300. These are hard to find. There's no sold listings. Are these things? Hold on. Are these things actually rare? Let's open one. Let's open one right now. Let's do it.
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it. Let's open a 30th anniversary live on the podcast.
Let's not.
No, I'm not doing that.
Let's not.
I guarantee there's a Lotus in there.
Good. Sell it. Sell the
Do you
box.
want to actually guarantee it?
No.
Do you want to do a guarantee? We'll open it. If I pull the Lotus, you can have it. If I don't pull
What
the
happens if
Lotus,
you don't?
you have to re-buy me a new box.
How much are the boxes?
I think $1,000.
What do I get out of this? Like, what do I get out of this?
You get the Lotus if we pull it. If we don't get the Lotus,
It's got to be old border Lotus, though, right?
no, just a Lotus.
What? So you're guaranteed a victory no matter what. Then
No,
No, because if you pull the
guaranteed to have
Lotus,
the
it
box,
sounds like you
right?
just get the box.
wouldn't that just be better than me just buying a box and I just open it? Then no matter what, I get all the contents, including the Lotus.
Yeah, except for that's not content right now, George. It's the here and now, baby.
I'm not paying you $1,000 for your content.
These are exactly the price as they were on the shelf.
Yeah, they haven't moved it
Yeah.
up.
It's amazing. It's a great product.
Your ability to just say that's amazing is clearly not appreciating.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he just lies on the
You
podcast.
guys said
I
this thing
always
was gonna
thought
tank,
that would
it
be
was
what the
a
mark for
disaster.
success would be.
You guys said it was going to be a disaster. It was going to
This is-
tank. It was going to be worthless.
Oh.
It's just over $1,000.
No, it's not. The most recent sold ones are not. Offer
Dude, I feel
accepted
like
from
Lotus
$9.99.
prices. Looking at Lotus prices have tanked.
Good. Maybe I'm on my way to one.
I think modern collectible Magic has ruined the price of vintage Magic collecting. Like this is an inherently rarer card than a Lotus.
A BGS 8, $12,000
For
That's
for what?
crazy.
for unlimited.
Okay, unlimited.
Oh, unlimited. Yeah.
Oh,
Still.
unlimited.
But
Oh, hold
still,
on.
no,
That was
still,
a
that's cool.
$25,000 card. I don't know. That was a $20,000 card 2 years ago.
This is kind of a feather in the cap, though, of modern Magic. Like people are actually paying these prices for modern Magic collectibles. If we were to go back 5 years in the doldrums of Magic collectability, 6 years, 7 years, none of us would have been like, "Yeah, this is coming." We would have all been like, "There's no chance. There's no way."
Well, and this is why what I hope is that the person paying this would be good. The person paying 40 grand for the traveling chocobo.
Good job.
I sweat every time I say it. Josh got super mad a couple weeks ago.
You deserved it.
I think you miss me making fun of you for
That-
being super mad.
That person, the question I have is the person who paid 40 grand for this different than the person who is buying vintage Magic in the past? If the answer to that is
100%.
yes, then I think this is a huge win and this is good for the game. And like, I think that's
Listen,
awesome.
Universes Beyond has completely changed both the TCG industry and the trajectory of Magic the Gathering. It is the most important innovation in TCGs in the last 20 years.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what
Did Josh
happens.
get bigger for everybody else? Did Josh get more buff on his screen to everybody else? Or like just
No,
me?
I changed my camera frame because it was reset.
It'll be interesting to see if what it does to other games making games.
Didn't work.
So like why did a question I have, right? Why did League of Legends decide to make Riftbound rather than League of Legends Universes Beyond?
Money.
Because I don't think
You
you
think
just say, hey, Magic, will you make a set of us? I think it's the other way around. Like I don't think Magic was like, oh, we should.
Magic
be
would
a-
absolutely make a League of Legends set, but the problem is it's a one-time payoff.
Well, they made an arcane secret layer, didn't they?
I'm sorry, is
It's a-
Arcane the same thing as League of Legends?
Yeah.
Yeah, Arcane
It's
is
a
an
TV show
animated
based around
series,
the
yeah.
characters
Okay.
in the video game. Yeah.
But like, I mean,
I don't-
this is like the money's in the game, right? Like they're going to pay $20 a box to make a box, sell it to distro for 70, 80 is my guess, maybe 60.
I mean, it worked for Marvel, right? Marvel has Marvel Snap, and they never went forward with making a like TCG, and instead they're licensing out to Magic. So, like, will this be Magic? I mean, I think since the 90s, Magic has had this desire to remove all of their card games, right? Is this just their way of basically solidifying that?
I don't think they care about removing the card games. They know that none of them touch them. So, like,
Yeah, I mean, Final
okay,
Fantasy took its shot.
Hold
Like,
on. I think we're being way too harsh here. Both them and Sorcery went after the Frank Frazetta art. If you guys don't remember that, like, there's real competition here, you guys. Like, clearly Magic is shaking about Sorcery's success, and they're doing all they can to prevent it.
the best
Right,
part is
Lily?
you can tell he's hitting his table
Yeah,
when he's
I like
saying
that.
these points because
I also like how he puts that on me. Like I said, like I was one of
I'm,
the
Louis,
bozos
I'm
who said
defending
that.
your game. Louis, I'm defending your game. Please have my back. Thank
I
you.
want the podcast get a spoiler.
The podcast will get a spoiler. I believe in it.
You can believe all you want. You can believe the Chocobo should be cheaper.
I want a Sorcery spoiler, and I want a Bo Jackson Ballerina Alpha Update spoiler. Putting it out in the universe.
What's
Well-
Bo Jackson Ballerina?
It's the world's best game. It's the only game that's actually successful, and you can tell because we haven't covered it.
Is Bo Jackson Ballerina doing a ballerina set?
The fact that they have not done that yet is a
Isn't that what you just said? Ballerina?
battle arena.
Oh, I heard ballerina.
But I want you to know, if they don't do a ballerina battle arena set, we should riot.
Is
My
there
I
a
would
favorite-
absolutely buy that.
My favorite thing on this podcast is when I misunderstand you because of your lisp. That's my
First of all, it's a disability. How dare you?
one of your many?
Donald, will you please have my back on this?
I don't think it was a Lisp issue. I think it's just he's in Panera issue.
no. It's the lisp.
Is there a
Thank
Bo
you for defending
Jackson?
me.
Is there a Bo Jackson ballerina card for Bo Knows? Because if
Sure.
there
That'd be so good.
Is there a higher ratio of lisps to people in Panera Bread?
Unquestionably.
well, I don't. You're in there carrying the laptop around and start interviewing.
Average
The man on the
Special
street
guest.
podcast.
For the record, I love Panera Bread.
The average age in this Panera has to
The
be
thing that
70.
you defend that whole dumpster fire that was making fun of lisps was, well, I don't want to offend Panera Bread.
He knows a good sponsor when he sees one.
They might bring the energy drink back. I gotta have it.
He knows a sponsor's on the way.
Oh man. Wow. Fun
Bo
stuff.
Jackson. I'm looking up Bo Jackson Battle Arena box. I've never even seen one of these.
They're
Yeah.
like pumping, and of course we didn't cover it, so you knew it would.
It's made by the same company that makes Wonders of the First, right?
Accurate.
Another game that's doing pretty well right now. I've had a
Yeah.
couple people talk to me about that one.
I don't know
like-
what's happening.
The best way to invest in TCGs is to look at the games that we don't discuss and go all in. Go all in.
I don't know. Some of them we don't discuss are doing pretty crappy.
But we used to discuss them.
Fair
If
enough.
we used to discuss it, it's dead.
We used to discuss them, they're dead.
Fair
If
enough.
we currently discuss it, they're doing okay.
Fair
The
enough.
If
real-
we never covered it, see you on the moon.
The real one that we don't even touch that is just killing it is One Piece.
One
We,
Piece.
we talked about One Piece for a while.
Yeah,
I
we
just
did-
don't
we
know.
went on a One Piece kick.
I just don't know anything to say about it other than it's doing well.
That's really the problem, is that we know nothing about One Piece at all, any of us.
I only know what Joey tells me, and I half pretend to listen.
I just can't do the art like the.
Yeah.
I can't do the
The nudie art.
the
Yeah.
art is good, but the nudie part of
It's-
it, I just can't do it.
It's way better than the Star Wars Unlimited art
I mean,
by
if
a
you-
mile.
God, Star Wars Unlimited, such an amazing
the
amazing
difference
job.
Amazing
between
value.
the difference between Star Wars Unlimited art and One Piece art is like if my wife or kids opened up my One Piece deck, I'd have to answer to that. And the Star Wars art, they'd be like, "Why do you hate Star Wars so much?"
Are they still making it? Is there going to be another Star Wars set?
Yeah, there's
Mhm.
another one coming out like right now.
God, why?
And they've announced rotation because
George-
the game is
George, they
at
did
that point.
collector boxes.
But don't we
And
talk
they-
about this?
They have completely killed the regular box. Like there's no reason to open a regular box.
Who's buying a collector box of that game?
That's all people buy.
Do you know how many competitive players are playing that game? It is
More or less than
crushing
Sorcery.
the competitive circuit.
It's the fourth largest TCG.
It's the best competitive game out there.
God, I forgot about that horrific take. God, Louis.
Star Wars is actually a really good game. They completely dropped the ball with a lot of
Really?
lot of-
Fantasy Flight and Asmodee did? Never
The-
saw it
Yeah.
coming.
Shocker. No one saw
Really?
that.
A lot of the
Fantasy
behind the
Flight
scenes.
dropped the ball?
I remember when they announced a reprint of the first set, Spark of Rebellion. My rep was like, "Hey, this was my rep at Asmodee." They were like, "Hey, how many Spark of Rebellion boxes do you want?" I was like, "I mean, I'll take as many as you can give me right now." And they were like, "No, give me a number and we'll get them for you." I was like, "Oh, I know where this is going." So I was like, I'll take 25 boxes. And then by the time I got them, they had printed probably 10 times the boxes that they had on the initial release. And then they banned Boba Fett, which was the best chase card in that set. So they reprinted and banned the big card all in the same.
It's
Also-
almost like a movie I've seen before.
Yeah.
Now,
God, I love
hold on,
Fantasy Flight.
the set came out this time before the ban, so
Yeah.
there's that.
That's right. No, these all the cards were in the box too. That's the other big benefit.
Oh yeah, listen,
I think all the cases were in the box at least. That's
Yeah.
rare nowadays.
this is hard to do. Imagine including all your cards.
Forgot when they banned that card.
Yeah.
Before they released the set. We made a mistake.
That was the best thumbnail I've ever made.
Everybody made it.
And then shout out to Peter for literally copying my thumbnail like 4 or 5 years later.
Love it.
I don't know Peter is, but I love it.
What?
Okay.
Kidding.
George, you got yourself a blue chocobo.
I do.
Why blue?
Because one that was offered to me.
Because that's what was opened.
If you opened a pink, I'd get a pink.
Donald,
here's
did
my
you get
thing.
duped like I did? I expected like an in-depth, like this was from my
No.
childhood. I wanted this. Like, no, that's just the one.
No, I knew
Here's
it
my-
was
Oh,
just the one that was available.
So I think this means I have to collect at minimum all the chocobos other than the serialized. I think my deal with myself is that if I get the serialized chocobo, I have to collect the set.
That's fair.
and then you have to send it to me to show
The-
off.
The rest of the cards in the set
You're
are
doing it. Like there's not like you have to like do the work for me. Taking you in.
there's no
I'm
shot.
very expensive.
Yeah, there's no shot that works out the way that either of you want it to work.
I'm sure it does.
I
My
know.
orders still
I
stand.
know how this
Team
works.
player, I had every card to my cart, and I hit buy now, and I bill George an upcharge.
I save you money by not having to ship the cards because I just pull them out of Louis' inventory.
If
And-
Louis has a complete set in inventory and he's not marketing it as a complete set, he's
No, he
just
doesn't have
as
a
good
complete
at
set, but
business as I
as-
thought he was.
Let's
Over
be
time-
I will say the
Sure.
chocobos have gotten pretty rare.
Yeah,
Like there's not a lot for sale.
no,
9 listings, 4 listings, 9 listings.
you got to act fast, dude.
That's crazy. Are these really that rare?
Now, hold on. So the chocobos are how much? They're like 1,500 a piece,
Yeah.
Like,
Eh,
about 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah.
And there's 5 of them, 6 of them, including the
There
Japanese
is
promo?
there's 5, including the borderless Japanese exclusive. Although
you're-
somebody told me that it wasn't Japanese exclusive.
So it's not exclusive to the Japanese
Just-
boxes.
It's just
It's
in
only in
Japanese.
Japanese
You
language.
can't get the black chocobo in English.
Right.
it literally says Japanese exclusive on it though.
The language on the card.
The language, boo boo.
So, but is it
It's
can't
way
be-
more expensive than the others.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
way
must
more
be
expensive
more
than others.
rare.
But you could have a BGS 8 Lotus for for a comparable price. Because you said it was what, $8,000?
Comparable price as all the
Yeah.
yeah.
Collect the chocobos.
You
Or get a
have to
BG.
be. No,
You think-
I would like. There is literally there's no limit to the amount I would rather have a chocobo set than an unlimited Lotus. None.
Well, do you already have one?
What?
He has no ties to the Lotus.
Right. But do you already have
No.
one?
No,
Okay.
I have a first edition Charizard.
2 of them.
That's what I should trade.
I mean,
No. You're
That-
losing a
well,
lot of money there.
No, I would get money back.
Yeah.
I don't.
You're
I
off
would
by
think
$100,000, aren't you? Don't you have a? Oh, yours is CGC. Never mind. You're owing money.
regrade that bad boy. What are you
I
doing?
forgot. Dude? You got so hosed on that deal.
So bad.
Increase your value.
Oh my
regrade
gosh!
that.
Do you have that spreadsheet of all the sealed product you gave that guy,
Somewhere. Maybe I'll find it.
buddy? Do not look at that. Do not.
Do not open that.
Do
Do
not open that.
Those are the
I
doldrums.
forgot that you
Those
got
are the
out
doldrums.
like a year before everything.
2 years before. Yeah. Yeah, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
There's like too much space. Like that's the problem.
I
So
forgot.
ETBs take up so much space.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
I think the joke was that's gonna be a pretty hot thing.
I think doing a set of all the colored ones is cool. I think even then though, don't you want the serialized one at that
Of
point?
course.
The other one I think is cool is doing all the borderless art ones. Like I don't like the surge foils. I would probably do non-foil to be honest.
The surge foil pricing is weird to me. Like, how come the cloud one is like $200 and the Sephiroth one is $700? That doesn't make sense to me.
The
Oh, somebody
Sephiroth
said a
one.
buyout. Oh, somebody said a buyout of it. That's
Where's
why.
the
So it's like
Sephiroth one?
$400. Sephiroth Fabled Soldier Boyless.
You're saying that's $700? Oh yeah.
What-
No, it's $360.
Yeah,
So-
somebody said a buyout of it. That's why.
So the commander cards are more expensive because you can't get the commander cards in play boosters.
Yes.
Is that a commander card?
No, the cloud, the Yasholta, Yashola. Am I pronouncing that Yasholta?
Sure.
That's the most expensive card in the set, other than the.
How much is that?
That's $500 right now. Market price is $520.
Where do you think these prices go?
I think it's hard for a card like that to stay that high.
I do too.
It's just
I do too.
like it's weird because you've got your people that care about Final Fantasy, and then you've got your Magic players because it's a good card, both competing at the same time. Eventually, one of those falls off. The
Yeah.
Magic players caring about the good card will fall off
They move on.
because something new will come out that's bigger and better, and then you'll just have your Final Fantasy. So the price will come down once the Magic players don't care anymore.
I don't think listen, right now it has the attention of all the Final Fantasy collectors, but it won't in a year. There'll be some other thing that Final Fantasy players care about in a year. Like there will always be some that care about this, but I think that number goes down, not up.
Yeah, the availability goes down though too, right?
I think that's right. I mean, this is where I think the
I
serialized
don't agree
card
with that.
is like the really hard one. Really, why?
Because Magic players they aren't they don't stick to what they have. Like a Magic player who buys the Yashola borderless $500 surge foil to play in their new deck that they just built right now, 6 months down the road decides, hey, I rather trade this card in and sell it, and it gets put back in the market by a store who doesn't care about the card. They're just they're just flipping. You have a plate about to fall on your head, George.
I thought I saw.
God, that would have been awesome.
Would have been so
Would have
good.
been the best.
What is happening here?
But I
That's great
think, like,
content.
a lot of
Is
lot
the
of those
Yashola in every deck, or is it like a pack thing?
It's more of a command,
Yeah.
It's a good commander.
it's one of the face
but-
commanders of the decks. But this
But
one,
is it in every deck? Is it in every?
No, it's not an auto include in every deck. It's just the face
No.
of.
If I buy the collector pack of decks, the collector
Oh.
decks, do I get one? Is this included in that collector
not
deck?
a surge foil.
Oh,
Yeah, you get the regular copy,
Yeah.
but the surge foil is the one that
The
you
surge
have to
foil
open.
borderless is the one that is expensive.
now how do I get that card?
You have to open it in a collector box. It's exclusive to the collector box. The surge foils
Not even the collector decks have it.
no, not the surge foil version.
Oh, wow.
It's a different print of the card.
Can you open it in the sample packs that are in the decks?
I think any card eligible for the collector pack is in the sample pack. I
So-
thought.
I think you can open surge foils, but importantly, the collector sample pack has exclusive cards that aren't pullable in the collector box, which is the dumbest thing in the entire world.
Wait, what do you mean? Exclusive packs that have chase cards in them that are separate from everything else is the best idea ever.
It's
We've
so
never
dumb.
seen that go wrong.
So dumb. Yeah,
Donald, what are you seeing on that topic?
I have,
He's
I have
sitting,
no
George.
knowledge.
Idiot.
I am sitting. I'm drinking.
I just think a lot
Oh,
of
I
those,
need some more energy from me this week. Come on, bud. You're killing me.
a lot of the Surge foil face commanders, I think, are a little bit of a trap of a purchase because
I love you.
right now everybody just wants
I
them
was Donald, not you.
because they're excited about the deck that they
I love
just
you.
got to play. Like I am
I agree.
tempted to buy a Yashola because I want to build that deck.
I'm not
I
gonna say
wanted
that.
to buy. I mean, my brother, who doesn't play Magic but is a massive Final Fantasy fan, I reached out. And I said, "Hey, who are your favorite characters?" And I was looking at prices because it's like it feels like
What
the
does
moment
happen?
to get them things cool. But I don't know. Maybe you're right about the Surge foils. People kind of cycling through commanders, putting them back on the market, etc. The tie might be strong enough though. The tie to Final Fantasy might be like, "Hey, this just even when I'm not playing this deck, this just lives in my binder forever." There's a lot more Magic players like that than I think we give credit, which is weird because I am one. My stuff just lives in my binder forever.
This stuff's going up though right now. Like
Yeah.
I just clicked on
Yeah.
Yashola and the picture says it's $550. The lowest listed is 670.
Yeah, those
There's a
like
lot of buyouts. There's a
if you're
lot of buyouts happening right now.
if you're looking to get those like the surge foils and that stuff, like now's not the best time.
No.
But like the rest of the stuff, all the bulk of the set is an easy pickup right now. Like that stuff is going to be the lowest that it's going to be
So that
in the
Donald,
next.
I agree. I did
with
that
the-
list. Remember we talked about the list of all the cards to buy that I was like, oh, it might get more expensive, and you nailed it. It got
Yeah.
significantly cheaper.
Like I'm watching as we're shipping Final Fantasy cards. Like the same card I shipped on Monday was $7 less on Wednesday, and another $5 less than that on Friday. Like
Really?
I'm watching them just rapidly drop. So like now is the time to pick up the bulk stuff, like the majority of the set. If you truly are trying to do a master set, like now's when you pick up all of the majority of it, the 80%, and then you slowly start to add the rest of the pieces as you go.
Do it, George. I believe in you.
I
Don't
don't
know.
believe in you, but I want you to do it.
Yeah, so to the audience, I owe George 6 boxes of collector boxes. And I can tell that George isn't going to do this because he hasn't asked me to send him the boxes to open yet. And you would have done that by now if you were
I
going to.
have been home in either one of my homes for a total of 4 nights the last 3 weeks.
I know, but we could have gotten it to you.
In
You
one of
could've
those
sent
4
it to
nights,
that-
where if I miss it, I get cooked. I don't think so.
You could have sent it to that Panera.
Yes.
Oh,
That would have been that would have been
Panera
the best
unboxing.
content. This is
Okay.
this Panera is packed. I've never seen a Panera this busy.
It's also
10
10. Oh, I guess it's not because you're on the West Coast.
West Side.
Okay, let's
And
move
Me and
on.
Tupac.
So there's a discussion I'm putting in the Pokemon section now, but we don't have to do.
Oh my
we don't have to
God,
talk
my
about just
God.
Pokemon.
oh,
For
good.
a refill.
No, but there's a growing amount of people who have been reaching out to me about like conventions. So I want to talk a little bit about Collecticon.
Gotta go
But-
pump your convention. We know.
The
You're leaving.
the small town conventions have also been popping up like crazy.
What does that mean?
I
What are
Ghost
you
of
doing?
George passed.
like here there's like a bunch of card shows like almost every other weekend in West Virginia. There's a card show or something that you can go to set up or buy cards and do whatever.
Well, that makes sense to me. Donald's there. They all want to go see Donald.
Mostly sports, though, right?
Yeah,
No.
of course. Yeah, of course. Sports is the only thing people care about.
I mean, like your random sports card convention is going to have a Pokemon corner. Like that's just a given.
Yeah.
But
It's called the corner of shame.
So the one that was in Charleston 3 weeks ago that I went to was
Wait,
average.
we got to be more careful here. Bad Charleston, not good Charleston. Continue.
West Virginia, yeah,
Bingo.
was
That's what I said.
was advertised as a sports one, and I bet you it was 65% Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody believes you. And Josh is drinking to forget you ever said that.
0% magic. Not a single magic card.
Yeah, I mean,
And
that's
the
Yeah,
entire
people,
thing.
because people play Magic, people collect Pokemon.
Right. But what do you think it says about the industry that we're seeing more and more of these pop up? Is it getting to the point where I keep saying I can't imagine somebody else would do another one of them, and then another one pops up. And like Collecticon, they're not like when we went to Collecticon, George, 6 years ago, I think there were 6 Collecticons. Sorry, it's not 6 years ago. 3 years
thank
ago.
God. I was like, is that true?
It would have been 3 years ago. I think there were 6 Collecticons
No.
at the time. And now there's I mean, a million.
I mean, like, COVID's over. Like, I don't want Donald's conspiracy theory. I don't want Donald's conspiracy theory about COVID, but like, COVID's over. Like, Donald's ready to comment on the bed.
Donald's like, you can't end what has never started.
But like,
look at all these. Crazy.
Like, I think like trading in person is an inherently important part of the hobby. I think it is like an essential part of the hobby that like without it, it's just not as fun. Like frankly, this is why Whatnot has won. Because there's something about hanging out with people. Like, and the more you get to do that, the more fun the hobby is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So you're I think you're spot on about trading. Like people were excited to trade at MagicCon, and I didn't think I'd be able to pull off a trade because everyone just goes to TCG Player and buys what they want, right? Yeah. But everyone was excited to like, hey, I just told people I just want to trade something, and they're like, I'm down. Just slap out binders.
I think trading is a lost art. I think because now we have TCG Player, like trading has just fell by the wayside, and you see a whole lot more trading in Pokemon, but like Magic players, they're just going TCG Player, buy their cards. Like there's I carried around a trade binder in Magic for years and never even opened it because no one wanted to trade anything.
Yeah, it's weird because unless you're carrying around a binder of Commander staples, right, which most people already have, Magic is very, when you build a Commander deck, most of the time you don't leave something out. You just buy everything you want for the deck. Very rarely you're like, oh, you happen to have the one missing piece in the one version that I want, right? It's so much more robust. I think people are more prone to trade at large events because people then bring their binder stuff. Like, these are the things I like to show off. These are the things you like to show off. Ooh, I like what you have.
You're looking for a specific thing, and then by default, there's enough people there that you're probably going to find the specific thing.
Yeah.
There could be an element to it as well where a lot of people put the more expensive version of a card in their trade binder because they're like, I already have that card. And this one's worth $75 and that one's worth $25. So I'll try to get rid of the other one. So when you're when you're trading in a local area, you're like, man, I don't want to trade for a $75 card that like I could get for $25. But when you're at a convention, you're way more impulsively spendy, right? You're like, oh, that would be a cool pickup. I'll remember I got that here. You know what I mean?
It feels like an event. You're blinging out your deck. You're not just trying to filter in pieces. But there's a flip side of that. I had a bunch of trades at conventions that were just looking for fetches and modern staples and stuff. Because like, I want to play in the modern event or I want to play in the legacy event. And I knew I was going to have to buy these cards. I'd rather trade you than try to trade into a vendor or buy a vendor.
Right, because you're getting your full value out of the card,
right? Exactly.
Trading as opposed to selling it to somebody for half the price,
pennies on the dollar, right?
Yeah, and then buying it back. Yeah, I mean, like I would much rather trade at value, but
for sure,
it's just hard to find that.
It's hard to find like I'm trading. Like, hey,
well, like it's just like I look through your binder and I find 5 cards I want for $75 worth of value, and you look through my binder and you're like, I didn't see anything. So then, like, it's just we can't make a trade, or you take out 200 cards that come up to whatever, which is fine. Like if it still equals the value, but
or you just do like you can buy this for the vendor for $75. You can buy it from me for $65, right? Like you can do something like that.
The other thought I had about the amount of card shows popping up is that because of things like Whatnot, there's so many more quote unquote vendors, like people who are looking at the hobby like a like a business, and so you have that kind of mass of people to go to sell something, and it creates just these different things.
I also I don't know if it's because I'm old, but
It is.
I like to hold the thing that I'm buying in my hand as opposed to buying it online sight unseen.
Yeah.
And there's just something to be said about
Donald
being
does
able
not
to
like
pick up
NFTs. That's the big takeaway from this.
I don't know. I don't buy into anything that I can't physically hold.
I'm with you. I'm way more prone to buy it if it's right in front of me and I can talk to you about the price, see the card, than I am like just clicking buy on TCG Player.
I also don't trust if you're buying high end stuff. Like I wouldn't just go to TCG Player and buy high end stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Weirdly, I'd be much more likely to do that because I know if there's a problem, I have some backup.
I would do that on eBay, but I don't know about TCG Player.
I was going to say the same.
Player is literally owned by eBay.
Consumer.
I was going to say the exact same thing that George said.
I would much rather trust that than some shady dude in the back corner of a convention hall.
Yeah, but anybody can make a TCG Player account and go.
Yeah, if Louis can get into these shows, anybody can.
I'm not going to buy a dual land from somebody on TCG Player with no review.
Yeah. Sure.
Even when we value something, we go through and we find a reputable seller that has lots of feedback. But I think what George is saying is if you buy something at a con and then you have an issue with it when you get home, what do? You gotta go find that person again.
Yeah, good
Never
luck.
gonna happen. Also, a lot of these things are it's dark. You can't really see you got a million people around you. You can't really see the card.
What kind of conventions are you going to?
Yeah.
In those big buildings, those big giant where the lights are way super high.
I think
Louis going to some freaky deaky conventions.
Yeah, I think the cons are extremely well lit, my friend.
Cons after dark.
Some might even call them lit AF.
What cons are you going to? You're everybody's naked. It's just crazy.
Louis making trades in shady strip clubs.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Oh, your dollar bill.
That's why he thinks there's so many more cons popping up.
There's all these strobe lights. It's crazy.
He's telling his family, I'm going to the con.
I'm going to the con.
Go to the
Get
con.
my $1 bills out.
Going to the cons to do the cons. And Louis
low value cards. That's why I have singles, honey, I swear.
You're telling me that the lighting at a con is perfect and prime for buying TCGs?
We have shot videos at the con after it was empty, and we were still washed out with light. We did that. That happened. The
lighting is bad.
The video on your channel. You don't watch it.
When I go to the National, I see several 7-figure car deals. Louis, I'll think of you.
Yeah.
You got to walk up to somebody who's about to close a deal and be like, "Are you sure the lighting's good enough to know what you're getting?" And just blow up their deal.
Steve Aoki keeps
and then leave a
video,
kitchen table TCG business card.
Why?
He's on the Collecticon video at least twice. I think he's on there 3 times.
God,
let's start. Ready? Where's Steve Aoki? Let's play the Steve Aoki game. There's Steve Aoki once. There's Steve Aoki twice.
Can see him.
And wait for it. Steve Aoki throwing a cake in 3, 2, 1. Steve Aoki throwing a cake. Oh, that's before the cake. I think he's here 4 times. Steve Aoki.
I always forget he exists until something like this happens. Always forget he exists.
The only Pokemon topic I care to talk about is I'm looking at 151 master sets again.
I've got one if you want to buy it. I think I have 4 of them right now.
You
can trade your stuff to me for them.
What's your stuff?
I know. Aren't you trying to sell a bunch of stuff?
No.
Oh, never mind.
What? What just happened?
I thought you were trying to sell some of your steel product. I'll buy some of your sharks.
No, you can't have them. They're graded by the literal best grading company known to man.
Bury with my sharks.
And you can't even have my Louis box "This was free" sticker.
I don't remember where that was from.
I don't remember either, but I won a box from you.
Did I write that?
No, I did.
Oh,
I
okay.
put it on the box when it was on my shelf. Just
Wait, you wrote a note to yourself and then framed it?
framed it.
You wrote a note to yourself and then put it behind
It was
your
on this
backdrop?
podcast when we were mocking Louis for losing a free box to me. We did it together. It was a group event.
Okay, let's move on. Sorcery.
Don't want to
Evil.
give that anymore. What would be the note you would put behind you, Donald?
Then about what?
You're
Anything
doing
you
great.
want.
What'd you say, Louis?
You're doing great.
Oh,
That's what you would put behind you.
that's not what I put behind me.
We should talk in the next couple of weeks about 151 master sets if you have a couple. I'm in the market.
Cool.
I'm late. I got a foot in the pool.
That's the hardest set to master because you have to have Prismatic Evolution is the hardest set to master. But there's so many promos. It's crazy.
Yeah, and yours is a complete master set with the promos, right?
Both Pokemon Center and not Pokemon Center.
All right, I'll just listen. Hey, I know
Not a rookie.
Do you have any
Prone to shady
master
business
sets
practices,
of
so.
Final Fantasy?
Yeah, I can get you a Final Fantasy master set.
You're gonna do what I did and go to TCG Player and click buy.
100%. And but I'm not dumb. I'm not gonna ship it to me. I'm gonna ship it to him.
That's way smarter.
So he's gonna get 40,000 envelopes. And they'll be like, what the hell is this? I'm like, that's your master set.
No,
The real
what do you
play
mean?
is to send half to my Charleston house and half to my Seattle house.
The best
No, you
part
do
about that is-
TCG Player Direct. You get it. You get the full master set in one envelope,
Here you go.
Yeah.
and you pay the price for it.
The best part about that is he would never open the envelopes because
No.
he just does that. And so
Yep.
it would be like 6 years from now. He'd be like, hey, you owe me this card. I'd be like, no, I don't.
It's in an envelope.
There's like what's the no longer illegal because it's been too long. What's that called?
Statute of limitations.
Public-
Statute of limitations.
Public domain.
All
All
right,
right, Lou, go pump your sorcery game.
evil stirs in the realm. First look at Gothic's flavor and mechanics. Now, before we get there,
Well, are we doing this thing where you read the announcement article?
in this announcement, they do not say later this year, but in the tweet that linked this announcement, they did say later this year, Sorcery Gothic is coming out.
You
So
mean in the X?
I thought we could take this time
Take that,
and-
Donald.
and Donald could apologize to everybody for his gross lies and misconduct on this podcast.
So because I asked a question,
And I thought maybe he could beg for forgiveness from the sorcery creators.
I want you to mention Eric by name, please.
From the
Yes.
sorcery creators?
Yeah.
Well, all right.
I'm sorry that I asked a question based on factual data about what would be released at Gen Con
The fact that he's
2025.
doing this right now is amazing. I did not think he would actually apologize.
No, that's not how you do this podcast.
Just trying to
Because
get
that-
his.
Never
That's because that
apologize.
wasn't an apology.
That's not
The
what
double
history-
champ apologizes
Yeah.
that's
to
not what history is gonna
absolutely
end.
no one.
If the podcast title is not Donald apologizes to Eric, you're banned, Louis.
Though not too good for the algorithm.
No, it would be really
It
great for
has to
all of
include
us.
Final Fantasy, or nobody watches it.
Donald apologizes to Cloud, a Final Fantasy podcast.
Old man yells at Cloud.
Um,
Ian.
anyway, we don't have to get into the whole article, but they
I want
released
to.
a bunch
read
of
it.
cards, and the big thing is that
Verbatim.
they are it's good versus evil. That's what the set's going to be. And
Wow. Novel.
they have clumped together, they've made this evil mechanic, and they've clumped together 3 different types.
Now, is that clump like the Kickstarter
don't
boxes
use-
or a different kind of clumping?
Yeah, rough.
Why can't I use the word clump?
Because like, was it clump like the Kickstarter boxes were clumped, or that, or like
Oh,
clumped in a different way?
I thought I was in actual trouble for saying something. The touchy time right now.
It is. It is. You got to be careful on this old internet here.
Not me, baby.
So anyway, so they've put 3 different creature types or minion types together to be evil. So if you are a monster, hold on, let me find them.
Donald
Undead,
looks so bored.
undead, demons, and monsters are all evil. So that's a type of minion now. And so then they do cool things like there's a consecrated ground site that says evil has no power here. And so when one of those minions enters that site, it has 0 power. I don't know. It looks really cool. The art looks really good.
Would it not just die?
No, you can have 0 power in sorcery. If you're there's literal minions that enter with 0 power. So you don't, it's not like Magic where if you hit 0 you die. If you hit 0 you're still there. Yeah. Duh. Don't you know anything, Donald?
I mean, I've played
None of us
sorcery,
wanted
and
to correct him or not correct him. We're all just like, yeah, that sounds
I
sounds viable.
thought once things.
Well, we probably played wrong in your
Just
defense.
I thought once things
Yeah.
took lethal damage, they were dead. I guess not.
Well, if it takes damage to get to 0, it dies. But it can have 0 power. So we don't know anything about like whatever the opposite of the evil mechanic is. We don't know anything about that, but you can assume that it's going to be 3 kind of creature types and that kind of thing. I think it's cool because what I did is I searched on their card engine for the minion types, and there's like 60 cards in Arthurian Legends and in beta that fall into that category. So it's a cool way to like make those cards have new synergies and new usefulness with a new set. So
one would almost call it tribal.
That person, according to Wizards of the Coast, would be racist.
I think they might call it typal or kindred.
It's tribal.
No, I think it was tribal. Then it went to typal, and then it was kindred.
Yeah, if sorcery doesn't use the word tribal because they're afraid of being racist, then they should not exist.
They just used evil instead.
Right. Perfect. The only thing that matters about this set is how many cards is Seb McKinnon doing.
I bet you he'll do a couple.
I
The only thing
mean,
that matters about this set is how many sharks are there.
it is right up his alley. Like that gothic, evil horror art. He will kill it. Like,
yeah,
that's it. I've got Sorcery's First Secret Lair, the South Park goth kids.
No, Sorcerer's First Secret Lair is
it's already out.
Goth kids.
The Dragon Lord set.
Already exists.
Nope, South Park goth kids. Eric, you're welcome.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, it would. Oh, do you think you got to find someone to do altars?
Do you think other games start doing
No.
Secret Lair?
No.
Well, yeah.
Secret Lair,
I think
yes.
Star Wars Unlimited would be the first one to do it. They're already taking collector boxes. Why not?
George, do you think they do?
No. I think other companies will do Secret Lair. They won't do this stupid mini set thing.
Yeah. No, I know that.
Like they'll do Secret Lairs.
Yeah.
Secret Lairs are just free money presses.
That's
Like 6 cards for $50 is just literally free money.
Anyway, I think it's pretty cool. Pretty excited. And we'll
I'm
see
also
more.
very excited.
See more at Gen Con.
Make sure you tell that to Eric when you ask him for a spoiler for me. I'm also very excited.
Louis, I think my Gengars and Reverse Hollow Charizards and Genesis Charizards come back within like the next month.
Nice.
I'm excited. I'm kind of scared.
I got hosed by BGS.
But you went
What'd you
BGS? You didn't go PSA?
I sent in those 2 Monkey D. Luffy gold cards that I bought to BGS.
What'd you get?
I did overnight expedited because I wanted them back before I go to Collecticon. I was trying to get black labels, and I spent $450 creating these cards.
I thought it was gonna be way more than that.
No, it was
actually.
$400. It was probably $500 after shipping.
What'd you get?
9 5s. Completely wrecked. Not even 10s. Not even BGS like 10. Not even like not black label, but regular, just completely wrecked. So yeah,
I gotta tell you, man, there's something about PSA poke. They're just cool to have. I like PSA cards.
dude, grading is addicting. I warned you. It's more addicting than opening packs.
Maybe it's because of the sealed product collection. I very rarely have the pull to open packs anymore.
Yeah, I don't open packs,
which is weird for me. This is a weird state. I'm in a weird stage of life.
I don't do it because of the amount of work it creates for people.
When I first started the channel, it would be like a whisper, like in my ear, like open me, open me. Now
I just like opening packs for other people now.
that is actually a lot of fun.
That it's a
I actually love that
I
too.
need to start streaming again.
You go through you just randomly quit streaming. Like you go through phases.
My life gets busy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of freaking work, dude.
Buddy. Yep.
Oh, George, stop it.
Nobody believes you. Nobody believes you. I have talked to you on the phone. You're like, I'm going to hang out at the store, and everybody else around you is working. You're like, I'm really hungry. Let's do some sausage.
You're the worst. Okay.
Donald,
Lorcana?
Donald, was I accurate or not accurate in that?
He's my employer, so I have to be really careful what I say.
There you go. There
Heaven
you
forbid
go.
he just be honest about his friend. Never mind, he has to lie about his employer.
Well, he's right. How's he gonna fix the next hole in his roof?
Is there a Lorcana topic?
No.
What?
Wow, it's that dead, huh?
Oh,
I
Game's
thought-
dead. Yep.
Am I the old? I thought I was the only one not pulling their weight. Donald, what the hell?
What's your next video, Donald?
The 6 cards I think will be reprinted in Fabled.
what is it?
Ooh.
Ooh, speculation.
Why would I tell you that now? Go watch the video
Where they can watch
give us
that?
a
Where can
tease.
they watch that?
on my channel.
What's your channel, Donald?
Scruffy looking gaming.
How do I spell it?
Go subscribe, everybody. Go watch Donald's channel. Don, can you tell us the 7th card you think that they'll reprint?
No.
I thought we could get a
Dang.
little spoiler. Go watch Donald's channel
Why,
if you want the
I don't-
Lorcana
You don't
Honestly,
have
topic.
any honorable mentions to throw out there?
Why do you think there's 6 of them?
Because you said
You
6.
said 6.
You said that was your video.
There's 1 of each color. That's
Oh.
why.
You don't have any honorable mentions?
Why did they do 6 colors?
It's better.
But
Claim
because
they're not
math works out right.
No, it's definitely more than 6 colors.
Donald, your thumbnail game is evolving.
Thanks, Josh. I have some very special people to thank for that.
You're welcome.
Nailed it, George.
Okay, this is getting boring, everybody. Go subscribe to
No,
Scruffy Looking
it
Gaming.
started boring. It got more boring.
Go subscribe to Hometown TCG. Go to your local Panera Bread and look to see if George is there.
You know
God,
what? Okay, it was fine. It wasn't great. It was fine. I had salad and soup.
remember to be kind to the people around you. Who's that guy? There's just
Can I invite him on? Can you interview him?
yeah. George, do a
You should
random
ask
interview.
someone, have you ever played Magic the Gathering in a Panera Bread?
Have you ever played Gokana?
What's the over under that George gets tased?
100%. That's kind of
Yeah.
what I was hoping for.
There's
What
no over.
what state
I
are
was
you in?
thinking pepper spray, to be honest
I
with you.
think I'm in Idaho.
Oh, he's not getting
You don't
tased.
know where you're at?
No, I have no clue. I've been in. I will say this: I traveled through the Rockies today. That was gorgeous. That was like literally gorgeous.
And death defying. Those slanty roads. What's the secret sauce?
Oh yeah, secret sauce. I forgot about that.
I already did my food review. It's good. Go to Panera.
What do you guys order at Panera?
If I'm in my fat mode, there's nothing better than the bread bowl and sandwich. But like in my current state, I have to have salad and soup, which is not as good.
I'm a Chipotle avocado melt guy.
Or a turkey bacon bravo?
Turkey bacon bravo.
I'm any
sauce,
kind of
pretty good.
Italian sandwich. Any kind of Italian.
From Panera Bread.
Anywhere. If there's a sandwich involved, I'll take an Italian.
Gross.
That's wild.
You're just going to make fun of me, so.
What's it? What is it, Donald?
We, for the record, we made fun of all 3 of us. All 3
Yeah.
of
Well,
us we made fun of.
But,
It
like,
doesn't really, it's not even necessarily Panera. It's just, if I order in general, it's not about what I want, it's what I can get the cheapest.
No,
So-
no.
Uh-oh.
PPO, Donald, price per ounce? PPO?
Well, like I look at,
George,
I look at whatever
We're
the
gonna start a new podcast. buddy.
How can you get the most food for the least amount of money?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
Let's
I look
go.
at whatever
Donald's got the only right answer so far.
whatever the deals are.
That's the only correct answer so far in this podcast.
It doesn't matter if that's what I want to eat or not. It's whatever I can get the
One-
most of for.
100,000%. You couldn't be more correct. It's impossible to be more
Let me
correct.
ask you guys this: why do you guys go out to eat at all then?
The PPO is definitely cheaper if you go to to the PP grocery store.
I'm never
Love the
home.
PP grocery stores, dude. You're in a West Virginia's a wild place.
I try to cook every time I can when I'm not working 14-hour days.
Well, sometimes you have a
Donald does
significant
cook a
other
lot.
that decides they want to go out, and you have to go out because you can't. Just
I
be
don't
like,
have that
no.
problem.
I was
I
thinking
hate
about
your
this the
dream.
other day, that it is way harder to diet if you have a significant other.
How much
Because,
harder?
because you are controlling two different people's impulses. Like there's days where I'm doing great, I'm dieting, and my wife's like, let's get ice cream. I'm like, boom, ice cream, we're in.
And then I come home and she's like, "Oh, Oreo cookies were on buy one get one, so I bought 2 packs." So that night I house an entire pack of Oreos. Yeah,
We've all been there. No
Yep.
I
shame.
think she does it because she doesn't like me working out.
I love that.
I think it's a goal. I've got conspiracy theories, boys. I'm gonna post it on my Twitter. Don't worry.
Or she likes when you work out because you're not home, so she makes you eat food so that you will have to go and work out.
So Donald, some people like spending time with me. None of them on this podcast, but some people.
Well, that could be accurate.
I like you, Josh.
I like you, Donald and Josh.
Okay, everybody, remember to be kind to the people around you. May the zoo be with you.
And also with you.
With you, dude.
And
Bye,
also with
everybody.
Panera.
Amen.